To MyCAP 2.0. You are on your dashboard right now. So let's point out the key parts of the dashboard. You can see along the top here, this is the journey, if you will, that you're going to be on as you work through this process to find affordable schools, apply, and make your decision. So you see that along the top. And as we move through, you're going to see that these will turn green and you can mark them as completed as you finished each step. You also see all of those right here, and you can click them and mark them as completed there so that you can stay on top of everything. Over here, we have our member resources. We have a CAP Academy where we have office hours, a CAP GPT, a lot of great stuff, extra information for you. We have a private scholarship database. As I said, we have office hours every other Monday for our community, and then we have a Facebook community, private community for CAP as well. We tell you the upcoming events and we tell you what's new. Really important stuff right here. You've got your two student aid indexes, your federal SAI, which is calculated from the FAFSA, and your institutional SAI, which most students will have if they're applying to CSS profile schools. That's the institutional student aid index. Then you also have your budget, which we are going to ask you questions so that you can figure out your budget. That's super important. It's just not about what the school costs. It's also how much you have to pay for each year. So we help you do that very easily. You also see that you have your list right here, and this will be here on every page. You can hit these arrows here, you can see it bigger, and we'll talk about this a little bit more as we go through. I've already built a list in here, but I'm going to show you how you build your list. Lastly, here you see up here in the corner, it says 100%. That's because I filled in 100% of the information. This is your profile. So you can go in here and go to my profile information and you see all these pieces. At any point, you can update any of this, and you probably will. You go in here and click that, and then you click edit. Don't forget when you make your changes to hit save, and all those changes will be reflected in everything you do in the software. So that's your profile. This is your desktop, or this is your dashboard. Sorry, I meant to say dashboard. Okay, so now let's move on to the second step, school selection. So when you start, you're going to have one school from onboarding, but now you get to enter all the different schools that you're interested in. So if you go here, you can type in a school. So I'm going to just type in Boston, then we go to Boston University, and there you go. On each school, there's something called the deep dive. So if you click on deep dive, let me show you all the information that's going to be at your fingertips about this school. So you have the tabs here. This is the admissions tab. So we tell you a bunch of things relevant to admissions. Then we go to the financial tab. We tell you what sort of school they are, institutional, all the financial need-based information you need, the merit-based information you need. And you can see up here that this student is not paying full price of $97,260. This is the expected net cost. That's what we're helping you see. And then we're telling you some things about the school. As you go down here, you can see the financial aid we're projecting, and you have even more information about the financial piece. You click on merit scholarships. This is going to show all the different merit scholarships that BU has. Some schools, there'll be a huge list. Other schools that don't offer merit, you won't see anything there. Then there's an affordability tab, which is one of the tabs on the journey that we're going to talk about. But I want to show you here, this is where you look at the 1-year net cost, and then we expand it for 4 years for you because it is a 4-year expense for most students. So we tell you the 4-year cost of attendance, then your net cost, because this student is getting discounts, what's your budget, and then what's your funding gap? And we're going to look at that in a few minutes in more detail. And then based on your major, what's your estimated first year salary? That's important because at CAP, we are trying to help you not get buried in too much debt. So if you look over here, we're showing you You're going to see these labels throughout the software: ideal, great, good, and caution. Ideal obviously is no loans. That would be lovely. Many families can't pull that off. Great is just having the direct federal student loans for the student that total 27,000. Good is taking out loans below your expected first year salary. That's why this number down here is important. And anything above that, we're going to tell you that's caution. And then we show you, this student's a biology major, comparing the first year salary to other majors, just so you have that information. So this is the deep dive. And if you look at this and you say, yeah, I'm liking what I see, you can add that school to your list. And all you do is click add school. Boom, there it is over here. This My Schools list you're going to see on every page. It never leaves you. So now BU is in there. The other thing you can do in here is you can search for schools based on what's important to you. So let's just do a quick example here. There's many filters, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I'm interested in a small school, and we're going to leave the location wide open. We're going to leave the financials open, but as you can see, there's tons of filters that you can spend time on. Let's pick a major. Let's say this student wants to be in business. Then you want to apply those filters, and then you're going to get a list of schools that fit what you put in. That's great, but what's really important here is then you decide how you want to see these schools. There's 794. So you say, you know what? Our most popular ways to sort are by need-based aid. So now you're going to get the schools that give the most need-based aid to you. So Babson, that's good on affordability, and we're projecting a really nice discount. Look at the sticker price versus the net cost. It's almost half. So, and as you go down the schools, you'll be getting less need-based aid. They're ordered by the most to the least. The other way that people like to sort is, you know what? I'm not eligible for need-based aid. I want to see where I can get the most merit scholarships. That's the non-need-based aid. Then you see what happens here. You've got Berea College, huge merit scholarship here. Knox, Wheaton is a school, really good little school in Massachusetts. Maybe you haven't heard of it. Susquehanna. This helps you find schools that are affordable for your family. You see, a bunch of these are ideal, meaning no loans. So that's a huge win. So this is how you use your advanced search and how you add schools. Now let's go to the next tab up here, affordability, which we talked about on the deep dive, but now you're going to see your schools added in graphically, if this is the way you like to see things, that show these schools are caution, which means they're not very affordable, good, great, and ideal. So you can see this graphically for your schools. And if you're wondering about what these different things mean and selectivity, we'll tell you. Just click on that and we'll give you all the information you need to understand that. So that's building your list with affordability in mind. Now it's senior year and the financial aid forms are out. So let's look at your schools you put in and tell us which schools you're actually decided to apply to and how you decided to apply. Early action, regular decision, or early decision. We're going to take all the guesswork out. All these schools require the FAFSA. Some of them require the CSS profile. IDOC, non-custodial. I'm not going to go into what all that means. As you are in our community, you'll learn all this through our webinars and our guidance, but all of it is right here for you. We also do tutorials of the forms. Here's a FAFSA walkthrough right here. And then we also do a CSS profile. So it's all right here at your fingertips. This step causes a lot of stress for families, and we're trying to take that stress out so you get these forms completed accurately and with the least amount of stress. Then you get into these schools, woohoo, and you get what's called financial aid award letters. That's the next step. We can help you compare these award letters. We can also help you translate them and understand them. Super easy process. You just click add award and then you type in the school that you're putting the award in for. So I'm going to pick Chapman. And then I already uploaded it, but I'm going to show you really quickly. Super easy how you upload, just like you would upload anything. You find a folder on your computer, you hit open, it ends up in there, and then you hit this little button here that says translate offer letter, and you wait a few seconds, a minute or so, and it's going to populate the award letter for you. I'm not going to do it because, I don't want to hold up the tutorial here, but I just want to show you how to do that. So translate and compare. So we're taking the guesswork out of that. And then you can see a couple of these don't have an award letter yet, but you can see the award letter comparison. What sort of award are you getting from the different schools? So you'll be able to compare all that. And then the next step is appeals. Should you be appealing these schools? That means reaching out to the college and saying, thank you very much for that award, but for certain reasons, I need more money. And as you look here, we're going to tell you, is it very strong, less likely, or pretty low chance of being successful on appeal? If it's pretty low, you can look at it, but that might not be worth your time. But if you look here, you can just literally drag them down here, and then you can have your list. And we're going to tell you why it could be a good appeal. And we can guide you through that. Our experts can talk to you one-on-one about that, but that's the appeal phase. Then when you finish the appeal, it's all about how to pay that bill. You've thought about affordability at the beginning, but now we're getting toward the end. So let's pull up one of the schools. Let's pull up Chapman. Chapman, pretty expensive, almost 94,000. You got 40,000 in aid. That's awesome. That's your budget. That's what you can afford. And you've told us that, and you can see that up here in your profile. So there is a funding gap of $19,000. And right here in real time, you can look at this and say, okay, I see it graphically. And then if I'm a numbers person, I can see it down here. Well, you know what? I didn't really want to take out loans, but I am. I'm going to take out the 3,500 subsidized student loan and the 2,000 based on what I'm seeing that I have a funding cap. And boom, there it shows up there under loans, and your funding gap is decreased. You could also look here and say, Grandma says, hey, if you need a little bit more help, I think I can do 6,250 a year. But if you think you need a little bit more help, I think I can do 10,000. Well, you could go in here and say, well, I am going to have to talk to Grandma. I need a little more. Now you've got the funding gap down. So you can see what I'm talking about here. This is where you actually get to play around in real time and figure out how to make this affordable for the first year, keeping in mind that this is a 1-year view and it is a 4-year degree. Hopefully just 4 years and not more. So then the next step, once you get this figured out, is the how to borrow tab. So if loans are part of the picture, which they are for a lot of families, next stop here is the how to borrow tab. We're going to ask you, what school did you end up choosing? After you finish the appeal process and you understand your affordability. So we're going to pick the school, and you're going to confirm that the financial aid is what you thought it was. In this case, this student doesn't have any financial aid and there's no college budget in here. So now we're on to the how to borrow. If borrowing is going to be part of the mix after you figured everything out, which it is for a lot of families, this is your next step. So we're going to click on how to borrow. Then you need to pick the school you've decided on. So we'll pick Endicott. Here's the cost of attendance. There's the financial aid and the budget. So there is a funding gap, and you want to confirm that that's the school. And then on this page, we're going to take you through step by step of our suggestions of how to navigate this process. There's a link right here to go to private loans. You can see loan rates. These are all the different loan servicers. We talk about a Parent Plus loan as well, and state and other private lenders. So this is your one-stop shop when you're trying to figure out how to borrow. And now we're at the last step. And so you click on college, and congratulations, you picked your school, and we give you a review of what you did in the software. How many schools, your applications, acceptances, how many grants and scholarships you got, and how much you're saving per year. We also show you our weekly private scholarship list. If you still need some extra funds, that's there to be a guide for you as well. We've got all this information here as we do throughout the software just for you. But at this point, congratulations, you're done. You got through it, and we were so honored to be a guide for you in this process through our MyCAP software.